Well, hello and welcome to Leaders Pathway, where leaders go to grow. I'm Velma Knowles from leaderspathway.com, and you're listening to the Leaders Pathway podcast. On this show, you'll learn powerful tips from inspiring stories to help you grow your leadership influence, impact, and income. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy, and come along with me as we explore how you can lead your life and work better. Well, today we're talking about one of the biggest obstacles standing between you and your dreams. You know what that is? It's called fear. Yep, that sneaky whispering voice that tells you to stay small, stay safe, and stay in your comfort zone. But let's be real. Your comfort zone, that's where your dreams go to die. Now don't worry, because you're here and you're going to take away some great strategies to help you to live and lead your life better. Now, if you've ever felt like fear is holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to share a personal story that will inspire you to take action. Because let me tell you, fear isn't going anywhere. But the good news for you and for me is that you can manage fear. You can push through it and you can unlock your full potential. So I'll give you 3 practical steps. You can always count on me to give you 3. And you can take them away right now and start conquering your fear and stepping into your greatness. Are you ready to conquer your fear? Step into the life that you know you were born for? Well, then let's begin. There's a story that I've been waiting to tell you. And it's a story about an ordinary leader with an extraordinary potential. Although she didn't know it at the time. And as you listen in, I want you to think about your own life. Whether there's something you've been putting off or a dream you're tucked away because fear has been holding you back. Well, meet my friend Debbie. Now, Debbie might remind you of yourself. Someone with big dreams, loads of potential, but stuck in a place of what if? What if I fail? What if people think I'm crazy? What if I'm just not good enough? Does any of that sound familiar? If it does, stay with me, because what Debbie went through is exactly what you need to hear today. You see, Debbie had always dreamed of starting her own business, but something that she could pour her heart into. But for years, she played it safe. She had a good job, steady paycheck, and life wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. She could not shake it. Have you ever felt that nagging feeling that you were just meant for more? That's how Debbie felt. But every time she thought about making a move, fear stopped her dead in her tracks. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I'm not good enough? Then one day, after months of thinking and dreaming and doubting, Debbie had had enough. For the first time, she realized she was more afraid of living an unfulfilled life than she was of failing. So she took the leap, the leap of faith. She quit her job and she started her dream business. I don't know about you, but that's what I call how to stop holding yourself back. Now, in the beginning, things were exciting. The thrill of chasing something meaningful, it gave her energy like never before. But here's the kicker, friends. Things got tough. The money didn't roll in like she hoped. Bills started to pile up and people, they started questioning her decision. You know the kind of people, right? The ones who mean well, but say things that feed your self-doubt. Debbie was stuck. She was scared, and she started thinking about giving up. And honestly, she almost did. But this is where the story gets good. Because instead of going back to her old comfort zone, Debbie made a choice that changed everything. She decided to face fear head on and take 3 actions that turned things around. And guess what? These are the same 3 steps and actions that you can take to push yourself past your fear and unlock your potential. Well, okay, what are those 3 steps Debbie took, Velma? We want to know. Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's break them down. And as I go through them, think about how you can apply them to your own life. Let's think about that. Number 1, you need to face your fear head on. See, Debbie realized that fear gets stronger the more you avoid it. You can't run from your fear. It follows you everywhere you go. So Debbie sat down and she wrote out all her fears and she asked herself this question: what's the worst thing that could happen? And you know what? When you face your fears, they often lose their power. So now let me ask you, what are you afraid of? Write it down. Is it fear of failure, rejection, embarrassment? Whatever it is, name it. And then ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? You'll probably realize, just like Debbie, it's not as scary as you thought. Now, the second thing that Debbie did was she would take imperfect action. That's right, imperfect action. That's easy for me to say. This was a game changer for Debbie. See, she realized that waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity, that was just an excuse. Perfection doesn't exist. Let me say that again. Perfection doesn't exist. So instead of waiting, Debbie took small steps every single day when things weren't perfect. She even sent emails, made calls, reached out for help. It wasn't always pretty, but it was progress. So here's a question for you. What's one small step that you could take towards whatever your goals are today? It doesn't have to be big. It just has to move you forward. Because remember, progress beats perfection every time. And the final action Debbie did is number 3, build a circle of courage. Now, you've probably heard a circle of influence, but I want you to have a circle of courage. Here's the truth. Fear grows in isolation. Yep, when you try to do everything on your own, fear takes over. But when you surround yourself with the right people, those who believe in you, encourage you, and remind you of what you're capable of, you become braver. Debbie, she joined a mastermind group. She got a coach and connected with people who were on similar journeys as she was. And that made all the difference. So friends, who is in your corner right now? Who pushes you forward when fear starts holding you back? If you don't have people like that in your life, it's time to find them. Whether it's a mentor, a coach, or a friend who believes in you, build your circle of courage. I believe this, and I want you to believe this too. The life that you want is on the other side of fear. So here's my bottom line for you to take away. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to control you. Just like Debbie, you have the power to face it, take action, and build the support that you need to thrive. And let me tell you this, every time you've ever wanted, everything you've ever wanted, the life, the career, the relationships, the opportunities, it's all on the other side of fear. But if you stay in your comfort zone, you're going to miss it. Comfort might feel good today, but it won't get you where you want to be tomorrow. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share something special with you. If today's message spoke to you, if you're ready to push past fear and step into your full potential, then I'd like to personally invite you to grab a copy of my book, The Valuable Leader: 7 Steps to Greater Growth, Value, and Influence. This book isn't just a guide. It's my personal story. You will see examples of my own fears, the fear of failure, the fear of what people will think, the fear that maybe I wasn't good enough. I know those fears well because I've lived them, and honestly, writing this book was one of the biggest challenges I've ever faced. But here's the thing, friend. Those same fears are also what helped me grow. They became the stepping stones to discovering the valuable leader inside of me. And you know what? I know that there is a valuable leader in you too. You just have to believe in yourself enough to push through the fear and find it. So if you're ready to grow, lead, and make an impact, both in your life and the lives of others, this book is for you. Whether you're a leader in business, your community, or just trying to lead yourself towards a better future, the valuable leader will give you the tools and encouragement you need to succeed. So you can grab your copy today. Just click the link in the show notes or visit leaderspathway.com. That's leaders with an S, leaderspathway.com. Your journey to becoming the leader you are meant to be starts right now. And remember, the only thing standing between you and the leader within you is fear. I'd love to help you push through that together. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you found this helpful, I'd love for you to share it with your friends. And when you want more resources on how you can lead and live better, head over to my website, leaderspathway.com. Until next time, you've got this. God bless.